Good morning, Peter. Hi, Lynette. We are live from Disney's Wilderness Lodge Resort. Happy Monday. Yes, Pete, we are so close to 2,000 subscribers. Almost there. So happy to be here this morning at my favorite resort on Disney property. It's so quiet and beautiful. Hey, Shelby, how we doing? Hi, Christina. Hi, Lee. Thanks for being here. So excited to chat with you all this morning. Got some fun topics to talk about. I first want to go outside over here. Just take it all in. It's a beautiful morning here in Orlando, Florida. I feel like we're back to the warm Florida hugs in the morning. But I did hear on the radio this morning that this week it's going to be back to the 50s in the morning. So I am not looking forward to that cold weather, but I'm excited that today it really worked out. It's beautiful. It's a little humid, just like a little hug. I think it's around 70 degrees. Feels good. Feels good. Shelby's still waking up. She's getting ready for school. Hey, Daniel's here. Good morning. I know it's hard to see, but we have the stream flowing from inside the lobby. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Peter said that I should be starting any minute. Am I not live? Smash that like button. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all being here this morning. We're going to talk about a book I've been reading recently. I'm actually almost finished with it. It's an amazing book. It's called Creating Money, Attracting Abundance. Hi, Theme Park Dad. Hi, Lynette. Thank you. I don't know why Pete said I should be starting any minute, but here we are. So I'm going to go back inside so we can get walking closer to the water. That would be great. But as you're joining us, whether you're here live or watching on a replay, please be sure to hit that like button, consider subscribing, and maybe even become a Patreon as well. I have a really great membership option for my Patreons that are interested in getting some life coaching, group coaching, one-on-one coaching, so you can kind of see what level works best for you. And you can check that out at patreon.com/learningwithlaw. And we're gonna go on a little morning stroll. Hopefully we'll get some good views of the sunrise. I feel like every resort that I, have my Monday morning motivation at, any of the resorts that are near the Magic Kingdom have a really great view of the sunrise. So hopefully today it's not too cloudy and we'll get some beautiful views to help you start your day on a positive note. Look at the beautiful waterfall. So whether you're new or returning to my channel, I want you to know that this is a safe space, judgment-free zone. Feel free to jump in the chat, ask some questions, and chat along with us as we wake up this Monday morning. I want everyone to feel welcome. And, if you have questions that you'd like us to answer or address, please put it in the chat. Love some interactions in the morning. We're coming up to one of my favorite spots on Disney property, truly a hidden gem. We have Geyser Point, which is technically like the quick service bar, like pool bar area for Wilderness Lodge. And there's beautiful outdoor seating. You can sit at the bar. The food is excellent. And it's a great fireworks spot as well. I just love Geyser Point, my fave. And then you have this gorgeous view. I know it's kind of hard to see right now, but as the sun starts to rise, we'll be able to get a nice view of the lake. I wish I could sit down, but I feel like everything is all wet here. All of these chairs with the cushion, they're all wet. Yeah, it's okay. I can sit on this brick here. Oh, gorgeous. Well, I want to acknowledge you for all starting out your day on a positive note. Give yourself a pat on the back for waking up early, for tuning in, and maybe gathering some knowledge that, will help you get through the week. You're taking some time out for yourself, and that's so important, because if you can't make room for yourself, it's really hard to pour from an empty cup, right? Even if it's 5 minutes a day that you devote to yourself, right? It's so important to just leave some time for you, right? Especially if, you're working all day, you have a big family, you have kids, spouse, whatever is going on in your life. It's just nice to take a minute to yourself and do something that's going to, help you better the rest of your life. Recently, I've been practicing meditation daily, and I really enjoy that time now. It's something that I struggled with in the beginning. I know that it's good for me, but it was something that was hard for me to kind of get in the right mindset, to set time aside. But really, these were just excuses that I was making. But being able to put time aside and kind of focus on me and do some manifesting and just quiet my mind has truly been super helpful in getting me in the right mindset for the day. So what I've been doing, and I've talked about this a lot, is that if you're trying to develop a new habit, it's a good idea to habit stack. So that means you're adding on a new habit on top of a habit that's already been established. So maybe you can think about something you do every single day, like brushing your teeth, right? And if there's something that you want to add on to that habit, make sure that you're doing it back to back. So something that I've kind of developed every single day is taking time to read. And I've been focused. All right, sorry about that. If you could let me know in the chat that we're still live, because I thought we were having some technical difficulties. Hopefully we're not. Still live. Thank you. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Hey, WDW Stream Finder. Thank you so much. Thank you, Leslie, for telling me where I was at. Appreciate you. Yes. So I've been reading. That's so weird, Peter. Okay. We're here. So I've been reading every single day, nonfiction books. Obviously, it's helping me with my Monday morning motivations. And what I decided to do is habit stack there. And in addition to my reading, once I'm finished, I will do a meditation. And I've been using an app that kind of has some guided meditations that help me along as well. So once I'm finished with my reading, I'll transition into that meditation. So number one, it makes it easier to remember to meditate. And number two, I'm already in that positive mindset. I already have my energy is at the right level, my vibrations are at the right level, and I'm in just overall the right mindset to start that meditation. And generally, I'm already in a quiet space that kind of allows for me to do that. So if you break up and do it at different times, it might take a little bit longer to A, find the time, B, find a quiet moment. But I find that doing it back to back like this is creating that space for me, and it makes it a lot easier to do. So absolutely loving my meditations. And I feel like I'm choosing things that coincide with the things that I'm reading as well. Good morning, Lady Kirk. All right, I don't know why the stream was being a little weird. Pete's telling me to turn off my Wi-Fi. Okay. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that, Peter. So it's just gonna have to stay like this for right now. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay. There we go. The Wi-Fi is off, but I hope I didn't mess anything else up. Okay. Anywho, I'm going to talk a little bit about the book that I've been reading recently. And like I said earlier, it's called Creating Money, Attracting Abundance. And it's written by two authors. Sorry, I can't remember their names right now, but the full title and the authors' names are in the description below, so you can check that out. Thank you, Peter. I truly am enjoying this book. And I said on the last stream, actually, I've had this book for about 10 years. And every time I tried to read it, I would only get a few pages in. And I just would never finish the book. So I was a little apprehensive about picking up the book this time to read, because I'm like, why can't I get myself through this book? Is there something that maybe I didn't enjoy, or the writing is too complex? I don't know. So I was like, you know what? I just feel compelled to read this book. So I started reading it and I literally could not put it down. So I have to say, and I've said it before, it really depends on where you are in your life, right? Different books will speak to you at different points. I feel like, again, I've talked about my favorite book being To Kill a Mockingbird, and I've read it so many times at so many different points in my life, and I get something new from it every time I read it. So I really feel like even though you're reading the same thing again, or you're attempting to try something a second or third time, it just depends on where you are in your life at that moment and your mindset. So maybe you tried something a couple years ago and you're like, it's really not for me, but you're in a different headspace now. You can try that activity again or that book again, and you never know what might show up for you this time. Isabella's when the student is ready. That's right. Lee says, happy Monday. Wishing you a happy and wonderful week. May it bring a new hope, strength, and motivation. Have a wonderful Monday. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, that's Shelby. Sorry. I'm trying to walk and talk. Thank you for that positivity. I appreciate it. We're just exploring where the cabins are. I feel like I am being very loud and people are trying to sleep. They paid a lot of money for these cabins. But I'm just so excited that you're all here. Appreciate ya. One day, I'm going to spend a night or two in these cabins. They're so beautiful, and I just love all the foliage around here too. You just feel like you're truly in a cabin in the woods. So going back to the book, I'm at a point in my life where I can truly appreciate what I'm reading, and it just speaks to me on a different level. So it might not be for everyone. You have to kind of be in the right headspace as far as the law of attraction, like your feelings on that, your feelings on manifesting. Like if you're not open to those things, this might not be the book for you. And that's totally okay. But just like I say on all of my streams, I'm going to be sharing information. I am not an expert. I am just sharing with you the things that I've learned through my perspective, right? So you could read something, we could be reading the exact same passage, and I might get something completely different from it than you would. So just understand that everything that I'm sharing with you is coming through my lens. So I always say, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But just being open to new ideas and new ways of thinking, I think is so important. And I feel like that's the problem that we've been having recently in this country is people are not open to new ideas and not open to new ways of thinking. And I think it doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone, but just consider things from someone else's perspective. Shelby says, my word this week is stamina. I love it. Love it, love it. What do you have going on this week that embodies your week? What's happening? So, the book, almost finished with it. I want to read it again, honestly. I think it's so fantastic. I feel like as I'm reading it, it's almost like reinforcing certain things that I'm thinking, get out of here. Get out of here right now. That is a baby turtle. Are you kidding me? How precious is this? It's so tiny. It's truly so tiny. I don't know if you could, it looks like a shadow, but it's a turtle, guys. Ah! I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. How cute. He's not moving. I don't want to scare him, but I am so excited to see this guy. Ah! Like, I don't know how I spotted him. You can't even tell. He looks like just a little rock in the road. I'm getting very distracted today. I am so sorry. Okay. But like, come on, it's a turtle. All right. Back to the book. Again, coming into things with an open mind, right? I've talked a little bit about this in other streams as well, but basically you create your reality. So whatever thoughts are in your mind, your thoughts become things, right? Thank you. No distraction. I'm very aware. Yes, I just didn't want to step on the turtle. Oh, there's some people in this cabin. Okay, this is a little creepy. There's no lights over here, but we're gonna just explore and see if we see any other wildlife. But I can't read my notes. So the way that you experience life, right, and your thoughts behind it creates your reality. So in this book, they talk a lot about, reframing your thinking. I'm truly not going to go any further because you can't, but I just wanted you to see that this is like super, super private back here. This would be the cabin for me. No distractions. You get a nice view of Bay Lake Tower and the contemporary, I don't know if you could see over there, but it's super cool. Very private back here. Okay, let's get back into the light. So you are where you are today because of your choices. So making that connection and realizing that every choice that you've made up to this point has led you to where you are right now is so important. It doesn't mean dwell on the past. It doesn't mean that we have to, live in the past and make regrets and things like that. But just understanding and having that awareness of like, you created where you are right now. Okay, and having that acceptance of it and owning it is super important. So some choices are made passively based on some past programming, right? Sometimes we go in like autopilot and we do things because this is the way you've always done things. But you can begin to make more conscious and aware choices by being present in the moment and kind of thinking about, okay, where am I right now? What led me to this point? Maybe I need to make some different choices in my life. So the purity and integrity of your energy is important. So having that integrity, and this is something that I've come into recently, is just, doing what you mean and mean what you say, or say what you mean and back and forth. So you want to be a person of integrity. Keep your promises to yourself, keep your promises to others, because if you do that, then you are truly living in integrity. And there's more intentions behind the things that you're doing. Your integrity guides you to create things that are in harmony with your deepest part of your being. So we talked a little bit, I don't think it was last stream, it might have been the stream before, about Brené Brown's book, Dare to Lead. And in it, she talks about figuring out your two most important values, right? And I actually linked, I believe it was the Shades of Green stream. So if you wanted to go back there and check out that link for a document, it has a list of values and has some instructions on how to figure out your two values. But When you know your values, right, you are able to kind of think about those when you need to make tough decisions. You can think about them when you're, living in a place of joy because those values brought you to that point. And it'll help you to be clear on your direction in life. So it kind of connects to the things that we're talking about now. So whether you decided to do that on the last stream or not, I encourage you to make sure you are able to identify and recognize your two values, because that's so important when communicating with others. Because if you don't know what your values are, other people are not going to understand where you're coming from. If you can't articulate it, they're not going to be clear on where you're coming from, what your intentions are. And some things that we don't do enough of is kind of celebrate our successes in life. At least for me, anyway. I know I'm very critical and I'm hard on myself, and I know where there's room to improve things, right? But it's important that we recognize our strengths and recognize all the wonderful things that we're already doing in our life. So instead of getting down on ourselves for things that we should have done or shouldn't have done, we need to really focus in on those times when things went right in our life. Because then you know that you're capable of being successful. And if you haven't already noticed, this book is not just telling you ways to make money in your life, but it's really more of framing your mind to allow money and abundance into your life. It's about that shift that your mind needs to make. Because if you're not in the right frame of mind, money will either come to you and it won't stay because of how you receive that money, or there'll be some sort of blockage there, and you're going to be living in lack instead of abundance. So what I truly like about this book is it's kind of teaching you how to reframe your mind and your mindset around the idea of money. And there's like affirmations throughout the book as well. One of them that I wrote down was, I give myself permission to have what I want. There are so many people that have this doubt planted in the back of their mind, or feeling like they're not worthy of receiving things into their life. I don't know where it comes from. Probably something in your childhood, but that feeling of like, ooh, I don't know if I should have like everything I want. Like, I don't think I'm deserving. I don't think I'm worthy. But just, changing that mindset to, giving yourself permission to have what you want is just a huge step in the right direction for some people. And your energy follows your thought. So whatever you pay attention to grows and increases. So if you are focusing on the fact that you don't have money, or you can't afford certain things, or you're worried about how you're going to pay your bills, that is just going to increase and grow. But if you're focusing on the positives and the things that are going right, the things that you're doing successfully, and just keeping an open mind to this idea of abundance coming to you, that's what's going to grow. And your beliefs about money determine how you attract it. So if you think you need to work hard to make money, guess what? You will have to work hard to make money. Ooh, it's a little windy over here. Good morning, Peaches. Welcome. We're going to go back over here to see. It's still dark. I mean, I guess this daylight savings is kind of messing up the sunrise here for us. But it is getting a little bit lighter, which is nice. Oh, I just love the view of the lake, though. So again, your belief about money determines how you attract it, how you spend it, and how you relate to it. I know, it is such a great spot. I love this spot. So open your blockages. So you might have to do a little shift in your body, your mind, your spirit, your relationships, etc. And what I love about this book too is it talks about how you should be following your passions. And your passions are going to lead to more abundance. How do you figure out your passions? How do you figure out your life's purpose, your life's work? Well, it talks about following your inner urges. Okay? And kind of identifying, there might be one area of your life that you're not happy with, but it may affect every other area of your life because you're allowing that negativity to kind of bleed into other areas of your life. So focus on abundance rather than the negatives or the bills, right? So if you, boat's coming out. If you feel like you can't enjoy yourself because you're thinking about your bills that you need to pay, right? You're never truly going to enjoy yourself in any area of your life. This is something that's going to be holding you back in your relationships, in your work, in your home life. Yeah. And then the book kind of talks about trust and hope and how trust is greater than hope, right? If you trust that things are going to work out, you're believing that it will. Hope is where you're kind of on the fence. So trust is the link between the mental world and the physical world. You're putting out that energy like, yes, I know this is going to work out in my favor. Instead of, I hope this is going to work out in my favor. Right? There's a big difference between the two. And something else that jumped out at me in the book is something that I say usually every stream is there is a reason why you are here. You have a role to play that no one else on the planet could fill, right? I say there's a reason you're here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So figuring out what is that role? What do I need to do in order to have a more fulfilling, a more joyful and feeling of aliveness in my life, right? Figuring out what is my true purpose. And loving what you do will bring that abundance more easily and effortlessly. And following what you love to do is going to help you to figure out your life's purpose. Captain Kirk, just a little faith. That's right. Oh, I hear the ducks out there. We got some ducks. Lynette, I love that. In bad times, I have always thought this too will pass. That's right. So a lot of people ask the question, how do I figure out my life's work, my life's purpose? right? And one way to discover that is to observe what you love to do or what you do naturally and notice the skills you enjoy using. So take a look at some of the things that you do that you enjoy. What skills are involved in that activity that you can kind of hone in on a little bit? And then concentrate on using them more, and that will allow you to draw opportunities to you to make money. I love that. Yep, Isabella says, what are you good at without really trying? That's your gift. Develop that. Love that so much. So don't ask, what can I do for the world? Instead, look at yourself and ask, what do I want to do that I love to do? Because a lot of people think, okay, what can I do that's going to help the world? And that might not be something that you enjoy doing. And if that's the case, you're not going to create that abundance from the thing that doesn't bring you joy. So again, you're going to ask, what do I want to do that I love to do? What attracts me? What excites me? What are the issues I am working on in my life? And what can I get enthusiastic about doing? Love those questions. And that doesn't mean once you figure that out, that you won't have challenges or obstacles. Some people think, okay, I'm doing what I love, so this should be easy, right? No, not necessarily. Challenges are opportunities for growth. And I feel like now, in this day and age, if some people are faced with a challenge or faced with an obstacle, they give up. And they think, that was too hard. I'm not going to do this. But that is literally the universe saying, here, I want you to learn something first before you're rewarded. Now, if you're faced with many challenges and obstacles, and you're just finding that whatever it is, it's not working out, then that might be the universe telling you you need to pivot, right? But you need to develop a sense of resiliency in order to push through those obstacles and those challenges, because life is teaching you something. The resistance is the way. I love that. We got some music on over here. We're gonna go to the other side of the resort, check out the dock, and see some of the cabins over there. And I love a good bridge. I love a good bridge. I love this too. There's a great quote from the book. The greater the outer changes you want to make, the greater the inner changes that must be made first. So if you're looking for a big shift in your life, right? You want those changes to be made in your life. You need to do the work on the inside in order to get those changes. It is such a beautiful morning. There's a little bit of a breeze, but it feels so nice. Oh, let's go on this dock over here. We got some people getting ready to go to the parks. I hear all the boats. Oh, my goodness. Starting to light up a little bit more. Okay, why do I keep tripping? What's happening? My feet aren't working this morning. Yes, I love that, Lynette. Lynette says it's never too late. Bill found his passion in his 70s and has been very successful. I love that so much. Look at this cute little spot, guys. You could sit here. It's covered. Maybe I can take a seat. Is it wet? No. Oh my God. So exciting. Look at that view. It's so beautiful. And then another insight from the book is when you charge money for something you love to do, you link abundance with using your special gifts. Some people feel like they love doing whatever it is, and they do it for their friends. Like, for example, one of my friends from the gym is making this amazing bread, and she's given me another loaf, Pete, so get excited for that. We have some sourdough bread coming home. Again, this is like her third loaf she's given me. And I said to her, what can I give you for this? Like, this bread is delicious. And she's like, no, I feel bad charging. But she loves doing it. And you need to start charging for this, because she is spending money on the ingredients and she's putting time into this, and it's something that she loves to do. So when you start charging money for something that you love to do, you link that abundance with your special gifts. So you need to give yourself permission to do what you want to do with your life. Yes, I love that. WDW Stream Finder, finding that thing you enjoy and lose track of time itself. Yep. But making sure that you're linking that money along with it. You shouldn't feel guilty about it. You should know that, hey, this is something I love to do, and this is a gift I want to share with the world, and it's okay to charge money for it, because you are putting your time, your energy, and your skills into it, and you shouldn't feel guilty about, charging for what you're doing. Another really profound thing that I read in the book, that kind of links up to some moments in my life, let's just say. If you no longer enjoy what you are doing, it is a sign that something new is needed. Developing the new will bring you more abundance than holding on to the old. Releasing the old is a way to attract the new by creating space for it to come into your life. So, for example, I was teaching at a brick and mortar school. I mean, for most of my career, for 15 years of my teaching career. And last year, or the last 2 years, I was at a school that I really enjoyed, but overall the experience as a teacher, I was just not finding the joy in it anymore. It was just, I kept feeling a sense of like, this is not where I belong anymore. I felt like my skills were not being used or utilized, and I had to find the joy in every single day. Otherwise I would lose my mind because I was not happy. So focusing in on one of my skills every day. I said, because I got to the root of like, why did I become a teacher? Like, what do I enjoy doing? And that's building rapport with the students and making those connections and mentoring them. So that's what I went to work focusing on. It was not on the curriculum. It was not on the grading. It was not on any of the other BS that goes along with it. It was more of how can I make connections with my students and how can I challenge them to be the best version of themselves. And once I started doing that and finding the joy in a job that I really didn't like, the universe presented me with a new opportunity. And that doesn't mean I didn't work for that either, but I was also looking for virtual jobs. But because I was able to find the joy and love what I was doing in those small moments, the universe gave me a reward. And I was able to let go of that job in order to find something new. And one of the affirmations that I wrote down, yes, thank you, Lynette. You could do it too in other areas of your life, right? Finding the joy in the little things, even though they might not be your favorite thing. It's something that you don't enjoy and you feel stuck in the moment. You need to find the joy in order for the universe to reward you with something better. So the affirmation is, I let go easily, trusting that nothing leaves my life unless something better is coming. And I have to say, I was working a part-time job while also teaching, and that job, couldn't find the joy in it. I did initially in the beginning, and then it became something that I just dreaded doing, showing up to work. And the past couple of weeks, I said, you know what? Let me just find that little sliver of happiness. Like, why did I originally start this job? What was my purpose behind that? And when I focused on that, the universe rewarded me and released me from that job. But I feel such a sense of like hope, such a sense of freedom, and I trust that there's something greater along the way. Like, I know now, and I work this job once a week, but I know that letting that go is just opening the door for bigger and better things. So I have no like remorse for this job being over. And really, it's all about how you change your way of thinking, right? You have to reframe your mind, because if we continue to dwell on all the negativity in the world, because there is a lot of it, you know, you're going to be stuck there. And you're almost like creating a prison in your mind, right? So focusing on the good, knowing and trusting that the universe is going to reward you because you deserve it, is huge. And it's also a challenge for a lot of people. I really wish it wasn't that cloudy over here so we could see a sunrise. But I think it's starting to peep a little bit. Let's go walk and check out the cabins first, and then we'll come back. Look, this has got one. It's got
We were there longer than any of us.
Excuse me. Oh, so beautiful. So again, this book is titled Creating Money, Attracting Abundance. Ooh, okay. Toot toot. And I'm almost done with the book, and I'm going to be really sad when it's over. But it's a book that I'm definitely going to come back to over and over again. Lynette, what is your thought on people who are stuck in a job because of their responsibilities? So do you mean you're stuck in a job because you feel that you need to bring in money and health insurance and all the things that come along with the job? Is that, I just want to clarify the question first. You feel like you need to provide for yourself and your family, and you're kind of feeling trapped in that job. Okay. So believe me, I was in a very similar situation, wanting to quit my job, and just finding a lot of resistance when applying for other things. So what I did, and this happened to me, so there's two different examples I'll give you. So the first one, and I actually had a video on it that I did a couple years ago. So this was right after the pandemic. So I want to say it was 2020. When did I leave? 21 or 22, I think. So I was working at a school in Florida, and I just felt like, ooh, there's a cardinal. Please hold. Ooh. Aw, just flew away. Okay. So I was working at a school in Florida, and I just felt like coming from New York, moving to Florida, teaching, huge difference, like night and day. And I was just not happy, and I felt like the education system was going in the wrong direction, and I just didn't feel the passion anymore. And this was before, like, I really made a major transformation in my life as far as, like, reading all the nonfiction, going to the gym. I was just, like, not a happy person, right? So after my second year teaching in Orange County, I decided to resign from my job. I had nothing else lined up, but I said, I cannot do this anymore. I need out, and I will just figure it out, right? Gave my notice. I said, after the school year, I'm not going to re-sign my contract. That'll be it. And again, like I said, I created a video about this, how I quit teaching, and this is what happened next. And it was, I let them know, I think in April, and the end of the school year was in May. So, it might have been March, actually. And then the end of May. So the end of May rolls around. It's literally the last day of school. And my principal's like, we're going to miss you. You're a real asset to the school. I'm like, thanks so much. I said, it's just not right for me right now. But if there's any other opportunities, I just let me know. Because I loved, working with her or whatever. So she's like, actually, we have this other position available. And she told me about it, and it sounded more enticing. There's a bunny. Lots of wildlife today, people. So to make a long story short, I had to remove this job in order to get this new opportunity. But also, the new opportunity did not turn out the way I wanted it to. But because I was at the place of, just giving it up to the universe, like everything's going to work out, it's going to be okay. I was able to immediately find a replacement job, like within a few days. And I don't think I would have been in that situation if I didn't just say, that's it. This is not good for my mental health. I'm going to just quit and trust that things will work out. And that's 100% what I did. So yes, it can be a little shaky because you're like, I have all these responsibilities. But sometimes if it's just costing you your happiness, you need to cut those ties and know that things will work out and make steps in the right direction. Oh, he's coming over. But another example would be how I went from brick and mortar to virtual. So just like I was saying before, finding the joy, even though I was not 100% happy, I went in with a different mindset, and I focused on the skills and my why of why I became a teacher, right? But then I was also proactive in looking for exactly what I wanted. I started manifesting every single day, and I was like, I could just see myself working from home. Like, why can't I do that? I could see myself like being in my guest bedroom, like typing on the computer. I'm calling people on the phone. I'm booking meetings, like virtual conferences. And then I can like go outside and go for a walk. And I literally manifested the life that I now have. But I put action behind those thoughts as well. So I was making sure that every single day I was looking on this specific platform. Like, I knew where I wanted to work, so I was going to that website every day, checking to see if there were jobs in there. And I had done this for a few years, but just sporadically and without manifesting, right? And before the year was out, I got an interview, I got a second interview, and I locked in my new job literally on the last day of school at my old job. So I think it's more of like, if you're really unhappy in the situation you're in, but you don't want to quit your job because you do have to pay the bills, right? I think you need to put a lot of intention behind everything that you're doing. So number one, focus on the good in this job. What are some skills that you have that, reinforce what you love to do at this job? Because you once, did enjoy it. I feel like you took the job for a reason, right? So focus in on that and keep that at the forefront of your brain every single day. And then start thinking about what would your ideal job be, right? And create that in your mind and spend time every single day thinking about that. Whether you have to create a vision board, whether you need to spend time meditating and visualizing all the things that go into this new job. And then also putting action behind that. Going online, searching for new job positions, maybe reaching out to somebody that works at that place and sending your resume. Whatever it is, talk about it with your friends. Maybe they have connections, right? So you're putting it out there into the world, but you still are holding on to this job and holding on to a little bit of positivity from it, so that you're showing the universe, yes, I'm loving this piece, and I also deserve to be rewarded. So that was a long-winded answer to your question, but that's what happened. So Lee says, well done, Lauren. Practice what you are learning and sharing. Thank you. Of course. Yeah. But this is why I'm doing these streams, because I want to bring not only just like regurgitated information from books, but like my experience behind it as well, to kind of show you that it is possible. Should I go this way? Let's see what's over here. I feel like I did this on a past stream, but let's just take the little bridge, because why not? It's so cute. But yes, things are happening in the right direction. Like, even my Bing goals board that I created for 2025, like, things are just coming into my life because I'm creating space for it, and I'm being intentional, and I'm thinking about these things every day and manifesting them. And I literally look at my board every single day, my goals for the year, and I'm like, oh yeah, this opportunity is coming up, and I didn't even realize I was working towards this thing. It's kind of amazing how it works in your subconscious mind. Yep, we did do this last time. It's a parking lot, but it's a pretty trail to the parking lot. So let's go back this way. I really feel like I'm not in Disney. I feel like I'm in the woods somewhere, and I love it so much. Who dat Dave? He says, isn't this area only a couple of years old? The landscaping is mature and beautiful. I'm actually not sure. That's a good question. If my boyfriend Pete is still in the chat, he would know more about that. But I do know that Disney grows their trees and their plants off-site, and then like they move them in too. So maybe that's why like the trees look older, even if this is a newer area. I don't know. Also, this was probably a wooded area too, and they just built. So I don't know, all the things. But yeah, this is one of my favorite resorts. I love it. Anybody planning a trip to come down to Disney anytime soon? And if so, tell me where you're staying. Or if you're manifesting a trip anytime soon, tell me about that. Like, I will definitely be staying in one of those cabins. Absolutely. It was built in 1994. Even this section, though, the cabins, I'm feeling like mist. I don't know if it's just like the morning dew, but I'm feeling drops of rain or something. Yeah, so I'm not sure either, honestly. Oh, it is raining a little bit. It's a little drizzle. I can see it on the water. But look at this. I would love to stay in a room there too, because then you have this beautiful view. It's so quiet and peaceful. It's gonna rain this morning. Okay, good to know, Pete. Good to know. Who Dat Dave says, I fortunately learned decades ago, once you make a decision, take massive action, which is very similar to what you've been saying. Yep. Lee says, I thought Copper Creek was only built a couple years ago. Peter. Lynette's coming back in April. Whoop, whoop. Oh, Peter. Yeah, so if you haven't already joined and subscribed to Pete's channel, Adventures by Carney, I don't know what you're waiting for. Head on over and subscribe. He does a lot more streaming than I do. You're welcome. And he goes inside the Disney parks. So if you want to see some of that, make sure you're subscribed. I don't know where I'm going. Okay. Ah, here we are. Yes. Yeah, it looks like a little cloudy, rainy morning. We got the Roaring Fork. People are eating their breakfast. Looks pretty good. Smells good, actually. Smells pretty good. Oh, Pete says Boulder Ridge opened in November 2000. Thank you, Peter. I knew you would come in with the facts. Copper Creek, July 2017. Got it. Well, we're coming back to the beautiful lobby. Let's check that out again when it's a little bit lighter out. Ooh, my feet are not working today, just not at all. It's okay. Back to the idea of charging for things that you're really good at, right? And following your passion. I feel like you should all kind of tap into that. What are some things that you like doing? Maybe you can pick this up on the side and create a little business for yourself. I know I'm working towards growing my coaching business. So again, if you're somebody that wants to, get some coaching on different areas in your life, ways that you want to improve, you're just feeling a little bit stuck in your life and you need some more guidance, hey, reach out to me. You can write me an email or even become a Patreon, because there are some perks that come along with that as well. And you can check that out at patreon.com/learningwithlaw. Captain says, I have to jump off. Thank you, Lauren, for another great Monday morning. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for joining us, Captain Kirk. Thanks, Lynette. Have a great day. Oh, well, I am going to say goodbye as well. And I want to thank you all for being here this Monday morning after the clocks got changed and we lost an hour of sleep, but I appreciate you and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Remember to follow your passions and also realize that everybody has a story, right? We're all coming from different past experiences, past lives, and there's a lot going on. So let's just remember that moving forward. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe, and Also, check me out next week, next Monday. We're going to go live from somewhere, I don't know. But once I finish recording, put down in the comments below where you'd like to see me stream from next. All right. Thank you all. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you real soon. Oh, and Peter is hoping to be live today. So definitely check out his streams. Thank you, Lee.